Hey everybody, I hope you guys can all see me. I'm streaming live on YouTube, Twitter, well, X, and Facebook right now. So I hope wherever you're at, you're able to see this. And I hope wherever you're at, you're having a good evening. It is Tuesday, Monday, the 14th of August. Yeah, just figured I'd come on and have a little late night chat because I got a really busy week coming up. Lots of stuff to talk about. And of course, if you want to ask questions or have comments as we go through this, feel free to leave those here. I'll keep an eye out for those as well. But yeah, so exciting week. First, let's just talk about some local stuff that I have going on. And by the way, I hope everybody can see this. I'm on my Wi-Fi right now, which has been kind of crappy. So let's see if I'm coming in right now. I don't know. But anyway, local news, good stuff going on here in Atlanta. The Stop Cop City movement, if you're not familiar, there's a referendum movement right now to cancel the police training facility called, affectionately by the opposition, Cop City. And there's been a signature gathering underway to get the amount of signatures needed to get on the ballot. That signature threshold was 70,000 signatures in 60 days. All the naysayers said that the organizers and folks were not going to be able to get the needed signatures to get that on the ballot in November. And lo and behold, right now we're sitting, the movement is currently sitting at 80,000 signatures, looking to have 100,000 by next Monday. So this is a pretty huge, monumental thing that's been happening in Atlanta. If you just want a little context, 80,000 signatures, right? That's actually 80,000 is more votes than the mayor of Atlanta, Andre Dickens, and his competitor in the mayoral election, Felicia Moore, got in combined in terms of votes. So, yeah, we're kicking butt here against the militarized police complex, and and for having better policing that's more accountable, that's not just militarized and clear cutting an entire forest and disregarding, the will of the constituents, the people of Atlanta who don't want this facility. They're being heard loud and clear because, it's a huge movement. And I do want to say, I believe the mayor and the city council members who voted for Cop City, if this huge, this monumental milestone is anything, it is a warning to them that they are probably their days are probably numbered in office. They are probably not going to be getting reelected because there's already a slate of candidates looking to run for city council to oppose all of those members who voted for Cop City. So with this huge signature gathering effort, safe to say that I think, you're not going to be seeing Andre Dickens or most of the Atlanta City Council being reelected come 2025. Sorry if I'm sweating, by the way. I'm outside because it is, I have my roommate. He is doing work inside and needs to be quiet. And it is, as my grandmother would say, hotter than a goat's ass in a pepper patch out here. So excuse me if I'm sweating a little bit. It is quite warm here in Georgia. But let's talk about what I'm going to be doing this week. So tomorrow, taking a little day trip out to Columbia, South Carolina. Going to run into a guy named Spike Cohen. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he's this really friendly guy that I know in South Carolina. And, he believes in doing a lot of direct action. He has this, he believes that power rests in the individual, and that's where we need to be advocating for that kind of stuff. So in Columbia, South Carolina tomorrow, there will be a group of folks supporting Be Kind, Be Great. Be Kind, Be Great is an organization that is, it's run by a woman named Erica Brown in Columbia, and she is devoted to feeding the unhoused population in her city, providing that direct aid. She does it every week out of her van. She cooks a whole mess of food, a lot of food, and gets out there and gives it to the people who need it. And for this, she has been threatened and kind of threatened with ticketing or other actions from police. And we want to make sure that we're going to the city council meeting tomorrow to back her up and to make sure that the Columbia City Council knows that we want to see direct action in these communities all over the country. And I'm hoping to lend my voice along with Spike Cohen and others to this cause. And, if you want to check them out, they are at bkbg.org. I encourage you to check them out. And if you want to do a little direct aid yourself, feel free to, to give to them as you will, But yeah, I'm looking forward to going out there. I got to meet Erica last week. What is my view on Josh Smith? He's another candidate for office, and I wish him the best and hope that, that's all I have to say about that. I really don't talk about other candidates so much other than that, I've met them as I travel around, and, this is a primary. We're going to have competition. So good. That's my view on it. So may he, if he wants to jump in, he's more than, entitled to jump in. I think that we have 20 people who are currently running as libertarians, and probably hundreds more running with the old parties. Seems like that, right? It always seems like there's 1,000 Democrats and Republicans running. But yeah, so that's my view. Thanks for asking that political guy. That was on YouTube. But yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to drop them in here. I'll try to answer them as I'm going through here. I'm going to be on for a little while. But yeah, so after tomorrow in Columbia, I'm going to be driving back here because Wednesday I turned 38. Hey, I'll be sitting with some friends here. I have a nice backyard out here. I don't want to pull my camera out and move it around, but I got a projector screen. We're going to watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3 on the projector screen out here with some friends and neighbors and do that whole thing. But I'm also going out to grab a whole bunch of shirts just like these so I can prepare myself for Iowa, which is the next big thing that I'm doing on Thursday. So Thursday morning, I fly out to Des Moines, Iowa. I hit the ground running. I'm going to get on the fairgrounds as soon as possible. And we have all kinds of stuff we're going to be giving out to fairgoers. I'll tell everyone you're 90 so they vote you into office. Hey, that's a sound strategy. It seems to be working for the old parties. They have a bunch of dinosaurs. Really, frankly, one of the reasons why I'm running as a 38-year-old is because I think it's time that we stop having 20th century politicians running the country in the 21st century. Some of these people, Joe Biden was elected in the 70s, the 1970s. And I just think it's high time that these old guys get the heck out of the way so that the next generation can really take charge and free up the world as we need to. I certainly know that my generation was the generation that fought the war on terror, that had to deal with the 2008 housing crisis and subsequent economic downturn. We're still suffering from that. We're still suffering from student debt. So there's a lot of things that we need to address in regards to specific policy, in addition to the libertarian mainstays of being anti-war, wanting to end the Federal Reserve and the inflation that they cause, wanting to free up people's ability to move here, work here without overly obtrusive government getting in the way, supporting property rights. Those are the libertarian mainstays, but there's some specific policies that we really need to address on a generational level that frankly, the last generations of leaders have just completely let us down on. So back to Iowa, though. I am really excited to be going there and participating in the state fair. I look forward to eating all of the fried foods and getting out there and doing all the things that candidates do, frying up some pork sandwiches, speaking to voters in the political soapbox and just getting out and doing that retail politicking, which I actually love about Iowa. I've been there a few times. And it's one of the things I genuinely love about that state is that the average person is just ready to ask you a question, and they don't have any hesitation there. So they go right up to you. If they know you're a presidential candidate, they have no qualms about going right up and asking you a question and expecting an answer. And it's something that not all candidates for president can do. And I think I'm pretty darn good at it. And, I look forward to doing it again in Iowa this coming week. Like I said, we got lots of stuff we're going to be giving out. There are things like, we have fans that we're going to be handing out that have, the Chase Oliver 2024 branding on it because, it is hot in August. And so we want to make sure that we're giving people a fan so they can fan themselves off as they're going from booth to booth, but make sure that they're advertising Chase Oliver for president. We have stickers for the kids, temporary tattoos. We have rally signs for the actual political soapbox rally. We will have shirts for any volunteers who want to come up and help us hand out literature and things like that, as well as shirts for sale. We will be giving out little magnet decals, all kinds of stuff to advertise to the people of Iowa that there's a libertarian candidate who's at the state fair, who's going to be speaking and who's going to be challenging the two-party system right there on the stage there. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to really bringing libertarian principles to the Iowa soapbox stage. It is, running for Congress and then running for U.S. Senate were the honor so far of my life of being able to represent libertarian philosophy on the stage there. I've been able to, debate congressmen, people who eventually became congressmen rather, as well as a sitting U.S. senator. And so, how long to just have to be yelled about? I hope everything's copacetic. I don't want to yell at people, and I don't want people to yell at me, man. I think we can be friendly libertarians. That's the kind of libertarian I want to be. Here's the ultimate deal. One of the candidates who's running for the 2024 nomination is going to be our nominee. And I think it's just less productive for the party and for the movement to spend time yelling at each other. I would rather just, be respectful of the process, respectful of the fellow candidates, and do this thing. We're going to see each other, I'm sure, as we travel across the country. He's the newest candidate in the race, but, I've seen Mike and Lars all over the country. I've seen Jacob Hornberger, saw him last time at Freedom Fest. So, I think if you're going to be seeing people all the time, pretty much every weekend, it's probably better just to be respectful and nice to each other. That's just how I am. It's just my personal philosophy. I'm going to save the fire for the Democrat and the Republican in the race. And in the meantime, I'm just going to be putting the best face forward for liberty. That's really my goal. That's the goal of any of us who's running for president, should be to be the best brand officer for the Libertarian Party, the Libertarian philosophy, and those principles that we hold dear. And the reasons why we don't blow with the political winds is because we hold true to those principles. So I look forward to speaking about that on stage. So there you go. But yeah, Iowa's going to be great fun. I am, like I said, I'm looking forward to trying all the different food. I've been seeing videos on TikTok and on Instagram Reels all week about the crazy fair foods out there. They've literally corn battered and fried corn, butter. I've seen Oreos. I've seen the craziest looking corn dogs I've ever seen. I've seen blocks of cheese, just like giant mozzarella sticks, essentially corn battered and fried. The pork tenderloin sandwiches look amazing. They're like this big, the meat, and then like the buns like this big. So I look forward to having many calories. In fact, I just got done right before this stream working out because I want to burn as many calories as I can before I get to Iowa. So I have some cheat days in terms of my diet, which is why tonight I had a dinner of salad, which is not my favorite thing. I'm not a big salad guy, but with lean pork and some brown rice because I'm trying to get a little bit more in shape. One of the things that happens when you travel around the country running for president is you don't always have the best opportunities to eat the healthiest foods. So a lot of times you're eating fast food late or just whatever's available. So when I'm at home, I'm trying to eat a little bit healthier than I normally do. I'm a good old boy from the South. I'm trying to adjust so that way I can save all the calories when I'm on the road, and particularly for Iowa. I will say last time I was in Iowa, I had pizza twice in a day. I had the Casey's breakfast pizza from the gas station out there. It is delicious, by the way. And then I also had a place called Fong's out in Des Moines. They are a Chinese pizza fusion restaurant. And I had crab rangoon pizza, it sounds just as full of calories as crab rangoon pizza, you would think, right? But yeah, I look forward to getting out there and meeting people individually. One of the things that I've noticed most, not just from speaking with libertarians, but also non-libertarian independents or frustrated Republicans and Democrats is they want to vote outside of the two-party system, but they want to see a professional campaign that they can feel proud of voting for. They don't want a performative campaign. They don't want did you see the cow-sized cow, I like your measurements, made from butter. I have not seen it, but I'm going to see it when I get out there. So I'm definitely going to take a picture in front of the butter cow. For some reason, that reminds me of the Golden Girls when Rose wanted to run for butter queen at her Wisconsin State Fair in St. Olaf. Anyway, if you like spicy food, you'll love it when you come here to New Mexico. Well, I do like spicy food. I do love green chilies too. So looking forward to getting out into New Mexico. The Southwestern, Tex-Mex, Southwestern, all that kind of regional food is delicious. You cannot go wrong with some good spicy food from that region of the country. And I guess when I get to New Mexico, Kaylin, Kaylin, is that how you say that? When I get to New Mexico, I'm going to definitely have to try that. But that being said, after Iowa, I'm hoping the real thrill of this is not just going to be speaking on the stage, which is going to allow me to speak to hopefully a large crowd at the state fair, but as well as to a lot of people online. Really, yay, I got it right. In addition to speaking to those on stage, I'm going to be able to speak out to a lot of folks. What is your view on the recent Ohio ballot referendum? Well, I was vehemently on team no on issue 1. Here's the reason why. Proponents of issue 1 are like, hey, we should just raise the threshold to 60% to pass constitutional amendments. If it was just about only raising to 60%, those folks might have a point. But it wasn't just about raising the threshold to 60% for ballot referendums. It was about how you get ballot referendums on the ballot to begin with. It would have changed the need to have signatures in 44 counties to all 88 counties, essentially letting one red or blue county in Ohio cancel out the entire ballot initiative, right? Which, would mean nothing's going to get done. So it was basically a poison pill. The other problem there was that it was going to make the expense of getting something on the ballot like infinitely more expensive due to that 88 county rule, making it harder for grassroots organizers to get constitutional amendments on the ballot, taking power out of the hands of just regular folks and leaving it into the hands of the rich and the powerful elite as they exist in Ohio, and their corporate interests there. So I support it. I'm glad it failed. And lastly, it would have gotten rid of the ballot curing period, which is a thing where, if you submit ballot signatures, they knock off a certain number of them, you have a certain amount of time or get new signatures. And they wanted to do away with that 10-day period and make it a 0-day period, which is, again, a poison pill. So I opposed issue 1. I'm glad it failed. And now we need to be supporting the issue that will be on the ballot to end qualified immunity in Ohio, which is, exactly. It is, in my opinion, a bad sign when government wants to make it harder for citizens to change laws. Exactly. Because that leaves power entrenched in the hands of those who already have it. And so, I'm glad it failed. It failed like 2-1 pretty much. And then, now we need to support the Ohio ballot referendum that will do away with qualified immunity for law enforcement and elected officials in the state of Ohio. So that way, when people are done wrong, they can seek civil restitution and get it in the state of Ohio. So that's what we need in the Buckeye State. So exactly. So I'll be at the Hawkeye State for the state fair. We just got done talking about a little bit about the Buckeye State in Ohio and their ballot referendums. And I was just there a couple of weeks ago. I saw both Republicans and Democrats opposing it. It was mostly Republicans, and they were trying to claim that it was out-of-state money that was trying to oppose it. Oh, I saw both Republicans and Democrats opposing it. Yes, it was mostly Republicans supporting it. But there were a lot of Republicans who did jump the party line, as well as Democrats opposed it as well. Being the minority party in the state, that's pretty much to be expected. And I was proud to see that libertarian activists were also opposing it when I was up there at the recent region conference in Dayton, which was great. So, I loved Ohio. I've now been to 26 states, by the way. So I need to get to a few more of them. Hello, Dakota. Dakota said hello, Chase. So I decided to say hello back. By the way, I do regular live streams Tuesday, usually at 5 p.m. Eastern. I won't be doing one tomorrow because I'll actually be in Columbia, South Carolina, as we discussed earlier, helping Spike and others fight against police threatening direct aid in the area. So I won't be doing a live at 5 tomorrow. That's kind of why I wanted to jump on tonight and do a bit of a live stream tonight. But I will from now on be streaming on Facebook, X, and YouTube. So X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. It's like when Prince changed his name. Everybody called him the artist formerly known as Prince. Like it's in every newspaper publication, X, parentheses, formerly Twitter. It just made the name longer, I guess. But that being said, if anybody has any other questions, feel free to throw them in there. I'm happy to take them. But otherwise, I'm a pretty open book, and I will be doing more of these throughout the campaign. What states are you looking forward to the most that you haven't been to yet? Okay, I'll give you two, and it's because they're the ones that are furthest away. I'm looking forward to finding ways to get out to Alaska and Hawaii to campaign for two different reasons. One, Hawaii is Hawaii. Oh, I meant to say this at the top. I am so brain dead, man. Prayers and thoughts really are going out to people in Hawaii right now. They are suffering from like the most deadly wildfires in the history of the United States. I think like nearly 100 people have died or more at this point in the wildfires. I've seen videos of people escaping into the sea from the wildfires and spending hours in the ocean as basically their entire community burned around them. It is tragic, but I'm looking forward to getting out to Hawaii. Not, if I can get out there and help provide aid, direct aid there, that'd be awesome. But I really just want to get out there because it is a beautiful state that I have not ever been to. And Alaska, I've always had a dream of getting up to Alaska and possibly seeing the Aurora Borealis. So I need to get up there in the late fall, early winter times, as I understand it, is the best time for that. So I guess I'll have to pack my winter clothes and get up there. I don't know how it's going to feel being a good old boy from Georgia getting up to Alaska. But so those are the two states right now that I kind of want to visit the most. I've kind of visited really every region of the country except for outside of the continental. I've been to the West Coast. I've been to the Southwest. I've been to the Northeast a little bit. I've been nearly the entire South pretty much. Another state I definitely want to get out to is Arkansas. Lots of good libertarians out in Arkansas. Shout out to Michael White and Ricky Harrington. They're both good people. Do I know the Eskimo libertarian? I do not, but maybe I know her by a different name, her given name. But even then, I would have to be reminded because I'm terrible with names. So I don't know her, but I would love to meet her. I assume she is in Alaska, not in Hawaii. If she is the Eskimo libertarian, that could be wrong, but I would look forward to meet her. By the way, if you haven't noticed, I brand everything. I got a brand name cup. I'm trying to wear the brand. You can get all kinds of cool merch at votechaseoliver.com if you want to support this campaign. We don't just have this shirt. We have a whole line of shirts out there, as well as magnets, buttons, bumper stickers, all kinds of good stuff. So if you want to go to chaseoliver.com, or rather votechaseoliver.com, you can grab that stuff there. I am in Arkansas. I will try to connect you with her. Awesome. Good stuff. Well, there's not anything else to talk about. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys have a wonderful night. Like I said, I'll be turning 38 in a couple days. It's caused me to think a lot. First off, I want to say, before I go, this is the non-political part here. As I'm getting older, one of the things I realize is that, life is finite here. You don't think about that kind of stuff when you're younger. But as you get older, it's something that you really, yes, I did get the shirt from Arkansas. But it's something you think about as you get a little bit older. And I've had, some tragic stuff has happened. I lost a good friend who I worked with years ago. Rest in peace, Becky Bloom. She was somebody that I worked with at my first real long-term job, and she will be missed. But life is finite, you guys, and make sure you're taking the time to spend the time with your friends and loved ones. One of the things I've tried to do, even as I'm running for president, is make sure that I devote time to my family. Got to spend a little time with my mom and my dad today, which was great. I've got to help them move into their new house, and it's been a real blessing getting to spend a little bit more time with them. And I want to make sure I keep doing that as I run for president. I know that's not really going to be possible for much longer, particularly if I win the nomination. It's going to turn this thing into overdrive. So I want to make sure I'm taking the advantage while I can spend time with my parents, and my brothers and other friends and loved ones. And I want to make sure you out there, you're taking the time to do that too. I know a lot of time we get really busy with work and activism and our own lives and our jobs. Make sure you take the time to give folks a call. If you haven't called your mom or your dad in a while, do that. It will really make their day, particularly if your grandparents are still around. I lost my grandfather. He was the last of my grandparents about just over a year ago now. So if there's one thing I can leave you with tonight, it is to love each other more and to make sure that you don't take those moments for granted. But I'm going to leave you all with that. And as always, I'm going to leave you with the same sign off that I give every live stream. But make sure you check out future live streams. Like I said, normally these are Tuesday at 5 p.m. We won't have one this week, but we will have one in the upcoming weeks. But I wish you all peace, love, and liberty.